Hi, this is Janet Black with Lovin Bling's Designs, and I'm kind of giving a review of the new KSresin Liquid Split Ultra UV Epoxy. There is an A and a B side. The difference between the usual KSresin epoxies is this one says it is you have 15 minutes of working time. You can do another coat within 2 hours. It's dry to the touch in 3 to 4 hours, and it's fully cured in 24 hours. So it's a high curing, fast curing resin. So I have an A and B side. My normal resin I use is the liquid stone epoxy from KSresin. The one thing I noticed right off the bat is that this is the B side and the A side right here. The one thing I noticed right off the bat is that the A side has a lot less bubbles than the A side of the liquid stone epoxy. So that's what I've noticed right off the bat. Also, I noticed is that when I mix these together, I'm going to go ahead and mix this one with this. That I still get the same amount of like bubbles if I'm using a popsicle stick. I normally do use a popsicle stick. I do have the metal sticks for stirring, but I just tend to just use a popsicle stick. It's just easier and faster for me. Now stirring this, I do notice that it is not as thick as the liquid stone epoxy, but is not as thin as the KSresin Liquid Art epoxy, which is a good medium. I feel like this is a very good medium. I feel like you're still going to get very good coverage and able to fill in any bumps or indentions in a tumbler. I really like mixing it, making sure it's really well mixed. Now with this epoxy, you can still use your flame. I have a torch here. You can still use this torch on this epoxy. Okay, so I'm going to move this way and actually start epoxying some cups. I do have to epoxy. I do use gloves. This one too, compared to the KSresin Liquid Stone, does not have that much smell. If you do notice too, I do have some bumps or bubbles, and what I will do is just shoot a little torch on it before applying it to the cups. So here we go. This cup has already had one coat of epoxy on it, not this actual brand. It is KSresin Liquid Stone brand, but this one I'm putting on now is the fast curing Liquid Split brand. So according to the directions or the packaging of this epoxy, it will be fully cured tomorrow at 8. Around 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So that is the most awesome thing about this epoxy, is that it will not take long to fully cure. I still don't know if I will give it to the customer at that time. I think I still would wait a day, but it beats waiting 3 to 5 days for a fully cure before shipping off or handing it to a customer to use. Like I said, this is the second time using this epoxy, The first time I used it, I did notice it did cure really, really quickly. Just like it says, within 24 hours. So no problem. I could definitely tell a difference touching it. The next day, it was not tacky or sticky. I know with the Liquid Stone version brand, the next day I could touch the cups no problem, but I could tell there was a little tackiness or a little stickiness. Usually I just get them off the turner and put them let them hang upside down to dry and cure for the rest of the time. Now, unlike the Liquid Stone, I think I'm going to do it with this one. With the Liquid Stone, I usually drizzle when I'm done coating it with my finger, the cup. I usually drizzle it, just a light drizzle all over the cup, and let it let it get even. Let me see if you can't see that cup. Let me see there. Let it get even throughout the cup. So I'll let that turn a little bit. And I've got this one right here to coat. This one doesn't need a really thick coat. And I wanted to use it, this resin, and just see how it does. This is on its last coat. Actually, this will be its last coat. This wine cup's last coat. So once it dries, it'll be ready to ship off. So I do have a little bit of epoxy left, and I'm going to put that in a mold. I don't like wasting epoxy at all. Okay, so I'm going to let these turn a little bit. Clean up my area. I have little ones, so I don't want them touching epoxy with their hands. So I'm going to now torch the first cup. Like I said, this one was its last coat. This is the last coat of epoxy for this tumbler. And I don't want to get any bubbles in the lettering. I just saw a little bit of bubbles in the lettering. And this looks like the torch is no problem. It's getting all those out. I don't want any bubbles in the cheetah prints. Okay. So now the next cup is this MS cup. And this is the second coat of epoxy for this cup, so it'd be great if it'll be perfect on its second coat, but more than likely it'll need a new coat, last coat of epoxy. I did see a few bubbles in this one. I think I got them. Okay. So overall, I like this epoxy. It does go on, like I said, a little thinner than the KSresin Liquid Stone, which I'm okay with that. The Liquid Stone, like I said, is a little harder to stir, thicker. But this new resin by KSresin, the Liquid Split, is, I think, the best of. It's a perfect combination. Is a perfect blend. It's not too thick, not too thin, stirs well. Even now with the extra epoxy, I hardly have any bubbles, so that's also a plus. So I give this KSresin, this Liquid Split Ultra UV thumbs up. Thanks for watching.